What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Thursday. We're a little after 4:30 here. I thought I was going to be able to give you the updated injury report. You know how I feel about the incompetence of these NFL teams, their inability to get these injury reports out at 4 when the teams have to get them in. So don't have time to wait for them. My kid's got a wrestling match tonight. Still sick as hell, so just want to get this out here. Don't want to have to wait till 9 o'clock tonight when they actually put these injury reports out. So I usually give you that just for some basis. We'll talk about that stuff, though. I'll show you yesterday's and some of the information from today that they just can't seem to put into an injury report. So I appreciate you all taking the time here. Hope you're having a great day. Appreciate you hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, all the things you're doing to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough, but let's jump right into this. You know how we always do, but here we'll start each game of the playoffs. We'll talk about the regular season stats, how these teams did. Then we'll look at what these teams actually look like. So let's jump right into it. We'll take a look at how the Eagles did this year. 7th in points, 8th in total yardage, 2nd in running. Obviously don't need to pass the ball too much. You see the media getting really confused as to why they run the ball when they're really good at it, but not so confusing to me. Gave up too many sacks this year. Don't like that. Turned the ball over. Only tied for 6th there. Love it. Cleaned it up a lot after the first few weeks, so love that. 2nd in points allowed, and technically they're first when it comes to defense because some of the other points were off of interceptions, things like that. So you can see total yards, 1st, 10th against the run, 1st against the pass, tied for 13th in sacks, 6th in turnovers there. So this team, we talked about it, going to be one of the best offenses and defenses. We talked about that before training camp, and well, as the media was saying this team was going to fall apart, everybody sucked and needed to be traded, we now see that they are the best team in the NFL. Now let's take a look at their opponent here. 8th in points, 5th in total yardage, 5th in running, 12th in passing, 2nd giving up sacks there, so that's great. Tied for 11th and turning the ball over. On the defensive side of the ball, 6th in points, 5th in total yardage, 7th against the run, 13th against the pass, tied for 8th in sacks, and 4th in turnovers there. So you're looking at two teams that are both very good on offense and defense, and we talked about that the last couple of days here. So for me, obviously this is going to be a playoff match. So it's going to be, a battle. But the better team should come out on top here. And, well, we're waiting for some injury news here. But, Jalen Hurts, obviously, he's back at practice. He is going to be fine. You see the media trying to spin their little narratives there. I'm hoping he is full and cleared today. If not, that's just Nick Sirianni playing with these mother effers. A.J. Brown, though, did not practice today, trying to get that knee a little bit of rest there. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Hopefully he is healthy, ready to rock and roll for this game. But Trevor Keegan was out with an illness. He should be fine. We'll see about Pickett and Shipley there. But they were limited yesterday as well. Everyone else full. Now, the Packers, Watson going to be placed on IR eventually, but he'll be out for this game. The good news they did get, though, Jordan Love and Malik Willis both were full participants today. So great news there. You see that Zane Anderson, the backup safety, and then TJ Slayton, their star D tackle, did not practice yesterday. So we'll see today. Whenever that information comes out, I will post it. But we'll find out what's going on with these updates. Didn't have it in time today. Again, these people lack. I know they're entitled and, their mom and dad gave them all this stuff. But, man, if we could just start hiring people that know how to do jobs, that would be awesome. But until then, we're going to have to just wait for these people to learn how things work. So let's take a look at both these depth charts real quick with the practice squads, the injury reports, so everybody. Now, Ian Book was just added back to the practice squad. The Eagles always like to have a quarterback there. So no surprise there. Mekhi Gardner was let go. So 2 of these players can be elevated for the game this Sunday. We'll see if it's Kari Blossom game, see if we add any kind of, defensive players, whoever it is. I'll let you know that on Saturday. Our IR, Byron Young, designated to return. So that's great news there. But you've got Bradbury Clark, Covey, Graham, Van Sumeren still on there. You will not see them on this depth chart. So as you can see, here is the depth chart. Everybody ready to rock and roll. Jalen Hurts will be ready to go. A.J. Brown will be healthy. Let's go. Dallas Goedert healthy. Offensive line healthy. Loving it. Saquon Barkley, another big game. Let's go. So offense, everybody ready to rock. Defensive side of the ball, you can see Cooper DeJean. That's one of the people we're going to talk about. Talked about it the other day. What an improvement he has been to the nickel spot for us. And everybody else looking like they're going to be good to go here. So fantastic news. I'll keep you up to date with the injuries. And then the special teams department, hoping to see Dotson back there at punt returner rather than Cooper DeJean. Do not want any injuries in these playoffs. So whoever needs to get it done as a returner, you got Dotson, Gainwell, Shipley, Rogers. Let's use some of those backup guys. Now, the Packers, here is their practice squad. They can elevate too, just like everybody else. You can see they got a running back on the practice squad IR. They also have a player that is exempt, so he does not count against the practice squad because of the international player program. But they want to elevate two of these guys. They will do so on Saturday, and I will let you know there. Now, on IR is Jair Alexander. He's been out most of this year. He's been out since week 11. Been seeing a lot of the media talking about how they just lost their best player, trying to make excuses for themselves already, but he's been out since week 11 and been out most of the year. And when he did play in week 1, he got smoked. So no excuses here, folks. But you got Davis, Dillon, Marshawn Lloyd, the rookie Jordan Morgan, and then, of course, Christian Watson is not on there, but I took him off of this depth chart because, well, he's not playing. And you can see here, Dobbs, Wicks, Reed, those are their receivers with Heath and Melton backing them up. But you still got Musgrave and Kraft, and Josh Jacobs is your running back. Sounds like Jordan Love should be good to go for this game. And you see the offensive line there. Everybody should be all right, but I'll keep you up to date with all the injury news whenever they decide to give it to us. Now, defensive side of the ball, looking like Edgerrin Cooper could come back after a couple of weeks off. So that would be great news from them. But you can see everybody else. There are, some minor injuries going on with some backups. Slayton was hurt. So whenever we get that stuff, tomorrow will be the game status report. You will know who's out, who's questionable. I will update this depth chart with all that stuff in it. You will see everything. And then the special teams department, everybody good to go there. So that is what both of the teams look like right now. And again, I'll update that tomorrow for the game status report. Then I'll update it again for the practice squad elevations. And you'll know exactly what these teams will look like for this game on Sunday. But let's get right into this top 13 matchups for this game. And, look, we already played them, but we've got some changes here. And, I want to start it off by talking special teams because they've got Jaden Reed. They've got Keyshawn Nixon, two really good returners. Keyshawn Nixon, an all-pro returner. I think, obviously you want to get as many touchbacks as you can. Keep the ball away from these guys. And then, as I mentioned a little bit ago there, Dotson, love to see him back there rather than Cooper DeJean. And then Will Shipley or Gainwell or Rogers or whoever the hell's kick returning. Would love to see the special teams department, do something for us rather than having to worry about what theirs is going to do to us. So we'll see if special teams department can help out either team here. Now, you guys know how this goes. No specific order, but I do like to talk about the defense and then the offense or vice versa, whatever. But I want to start it off with probably my favorite matchup here and, and singular matchup, and that's Cooper DeJean versus Jaden Reed. And you heard me talk about it on Monday. You've seen a lot of the reporters watched my video finally and have started talking about it today after I made that clip. But one thing that's different, they talk about, they don't have Watson, but they have Jaden Reed. That's fine, man. What we didn't have was Cooper DeJean in week 1, and we had Avonte Maddox there. So a huge upgrade there. So I'm really looking forward to that matchup. But Dobbs, Wicks, Heath, Melton, all going to have to step it up with Watson out. But going up against Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay, and the rest of our guys should be a damn good matchup. But these guys in the secondary of the Eagles should be able to shut down their receivers. Looking forward to that matchup. Over 130 yards for Jaden Reed. He had that 30-plus yard run, a couple touchdowns there. So let's shut him down and make him non-existent in this game. That's what I'm looking for. And I think Cooper DeJean has himself a day with him. And look, this kid's a burner. He could definitely do, some damage. So hopefully we're obviously going to be game planning for that. Let's shut him down. And, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that matchup. But also shutting down their tight ends. You've got Kraft and Musgrave there, but we've got Gardner Johnson, Blankenship, healthy, ready to rock and roll. One of the best duos of safeties in the game. So let's go out here, smack them right in the mouth, shut down that passing attack. And I think, this defense could really put a hurting on them. And it all begins in the trenches. So, looking at Jenkins, Myers, and now Sean Ryan taking over for the rookie Jordan Morgan, who is on IR. But you've got Carter, Davis, Williams, some monsters there. And I think this is the best trio interior linemen in the game. And I'm ready to see them do some work. Now, the Packers have one of the best offensive lines in the game, and they can run the ball, pass the ball, protect their quarterback. That's great, but we've got monsters. So get after them, do your thing, and then open things up for the guys on the outside. And, you've got Walker and Zach Tom. I saw Zach Tom was listed as a better tackle than Lane Johnson, even though he gave up a couple more sacks, a bunch more pressures, a bunch more quarterback hurries. He is not better than Lane Johnson. PFF gets offended because the Eagles are so good. They use their excuse that Saquon Barkley, they said, was the 10th best because we have such a good line. But then they say that our line isn't good. So these morons, they're just another bunch of douchebags that all get offended that the Eagles are good. And I love to see them squirm. So take your little weirdo awards and shove them, dude. We're about to go win that Super Bowl. And, well, you need to do that with a pass rush. So Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, you've got Jalen Hunt, and now Bryce Huff back. So let's get this rotation going. Let's get some pressure on Jordan Love. Going to be hard to do. We saw second in the league, giving up sacks. They're definitely good. But if we can get to him, if we can rattle him, he's got that elbow injury. I think, the sky is the limit here for the Eagles. The first game, he threw for over 260 yards, had a couple touchdowns. So had himself a good game. I did throw that pick at the end of the game to Reed Blankenship. So, hey, let's put some pressure on this dude. Let's whoop his ass and make him one-dimensional, because I don't think he's going to do as well without Christian Watson there to help spread the field with Jaden Reed there. But one thing they are definitely going to try to do is run the damn ball right down our throats. And Josh Jacobs last time had 84 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. So they know they can run. We are 10th against the run. We've had our issues at times. The Panthers were able to run the ball well against us. So, excuse me, still sick. But you can see this team, they have done phenomenal things this year. Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, best linebacker doing the game. So let's shut them down. Let's get after this dude. Let's put him in the dirt. Now, let's go into the Eagles offense here. And, well, let's start her in the trenches here. And Mailata and Johnson, the best tackle duo in the game, going up against Rashawn Gary, Enigbare, Lucas Van Ness, Brenton Cox, and then Colby Wooden there. So they've got themselves a nice rotation. But we have the best tackles in the game. I don't care what PFF, RFF, JFK, anybody says. I just want this team to protect Jalen Hurts. So it's going to be a big one. These guys need to step it up going up against these pass rushers. And then they've got some studs in the middle there too. And Kenny Clark and TJ Slayton. They've got backups in Brooks and Wyatt there. But Dickerson, Jurgens, Becton, some monsters in the middle. So let's protect Jalen Hurts, but also be able to run the ball right down their throats would be fantastic. So let's win the battle in the trenches, and then the sky is the limit. But at number 4 here, I've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson going up against Eric Stokes, Georgia Dog. Got Valentine and then Nixon there as well. A.J. in that first game had 5 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown. Devontae, 7 catches for 84 yards. So these guys had themselves a day. And I think, missing Jair Alexander, we smoked them, but, they've done fine without him. So it's definitely a downgrade for them, but next man up has been their mentality, and they've been doing just fine. So should be a good matchup, but I think our receivers should be able to do some work. And also our tight end. We saw him knock off a little rust, come on back for that final game. Gave, Tanner McKee somebody to throw to and feel good about. He had 4 catches, 31 yards that first time we played him. Going up against Xavier McKinney, one of the best free agent additions this year, and then rookie Javon Bullard, another Georgia Bulldog. So, look, he's going to have to do some work against the linebackers, safeties, and really looking forward to that matchup. I think Goddard could have himself a day. Would love to see, Hurts attacking the middle of the field with these guys. Now, at number 2, talk about those injuries to their linebackers. You've got Quay Walker there and Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper, been one of the best rookies. If it weren't for guys like Quinyon Mitchell and Jared Verse, he might have a chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. But look, it doesn't take away from how much of a great year he's had. You've got Quay Walker there. Now they've had injuries. Cooper's been banged up. Walker's been a little banged up. But these linebackers are going to have to be on their effing toes. And Saquon that first game had 24 carries, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 4.5 yards per carry. But he also had 2 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown. So 3 touchdowns on the day. Those linebackers were getting worked good. So let's go out there, punch them right in the mouth, run that ball right down their throats. And I think the sky will be the limit for number 1, QB1, Jalen Hurts, going up against this Packers defense. And last time we played them, 20 for 34, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a couple of picks, but we talked about at the beginning of the show, cleaned those turnovers up. So love to see that. He had 13 rushes for 33 yards. Look, you can take that with a grain of salt, whatever. You can take all the stats with a grain of salt. But I think Jalen Hurts, obviously, he's coming back, from a concussion. That's unfortunate. You never want to see that kind of stuff. But he's still QB1. And I've seen all the people offended. I've seen the media, the casual fans, whining. Just, he's going to be rusty. Oh, he'll forget how to play football. Oh, I had a guy, one of you, I think Dank, you were out there. Some of the comments you guys say, like, oh, Jalen Hurts is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league this year. Like, look, man, I don't care what you got going on in your personal life. the weirdo shit, making stuff up just to like so you don't cry yourself to sleep. It's not wanted here, man. No one cares. We talk real football here. So we're excited for our quarterback. QB1, Jalen Hurts. So let's go whoop some Packer ass, put it in his hands, and watch the man shine. Now, again, they have a good run defense, so you don't want to run. Yes, you do. Just like we did against the Ravens, the Steelers, anybody else. We'll run it right down your throat. So run the ball, make things easier for Jalen Hurts, and I think we can pull off another victory. And I'd love to see this team win by double digits, but could be a damn close game. This is a really good Packers team, but a better Philadelphia Eagles team. Let me know how you feel about these matchups, about this game. You got a score prediction, player of the game already on your mind. Whoever you are feeling here, love to hear from you. Whatever's on your mind. If you need anything, doesn't have to be about the Birds. Always here for you guys as you are for me. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this bad boy, subscribe. But that's all I've got for you. And I will be back tomorrow with the game status report, who's out, who's questionable. And then we'll have Fan Friday, getting pumped up, ready to run through some walls for this game. Then Saturday practice squad elevation, Sunday pregame show and postgame show. Hope to see you for all these shows. Hope to hear from you down below. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!